there, welcome to another episode of the Galaxy Gardens. My name is Chrissy, and if you've never joined us before, my husband Greg and I, who will show you later, homestead here on our backyard in western Massachusetts. We're about zone 6A, zone 6B. I'd say we started as 6B, now we're 6A, thanks to, climate change. But we grow just about anything you can think of that will survive in this type of temperate region. And we like to share what we do. Maybe it inspires you to try some new things if you live in a similar area, or even show you some new gardening techniques you might not have learned before. Today I'm really just puttering around in the backyard. We were fortunate to go see the amazing show over at MetLife Stadium. It was Wisp, Polyphia, Corn, and System of a Down, and oh man, it's pretty close to a religious experience, I'll tell you. We were right down on the field in the middle of all the mosh pits, and then the next day we got to go see Nine Inch Nails in Boston. So this has been quite the weekend. We are back now. This has been a very long weekend, and I want to grab some leaves to get a ferment going. We have had a successful pickle ferment, which I'll show you inside, so we have a little bit more encouragement to get back into the fermenting world. And we have some stuff to harvest, so that's the plan. Let's go check it out. Well, to start off, I just saw this huge peach on the tree. Huge, like really good sized peach. It got eaten by I'm assuming ants, because there was another one on the tree that was getting devoured by ants. I'm gonna give this to the girls. We have a bunch of peaches in the freezer right now, but that's a good size one. Next year I'm gonna have to remember to get my bug spray out, so I don't get those green stink bugs on these again, and maybe the rest of them can get this bag. That's impressive. Let's go bring this over to the girls. Come here, ladies. Come here. Here. Go ahead, go check it out. Marshmallow. Ever the brave one. They'll get to it. Chickens are funny because eventually they do always figure it out, but they usually are a little bit nervous when it comes to new vegetables. That was a good find. I was not expecting that. Let's go check out some other stuff. Apologies for the wind sounds here. One of these days I'll actually get a microphone. But desperately need to water. I'm really only over here to grab a couple grape leaves because the tannins are good for pickling things. Now we do have pickling lime, and I've never once used it to actually make pickles. That's all right. Let's see. 1, 2. So I think I just need 4. Let's see. This is our green grape. We already picked all our grapes. How are these? The leaves are starting to be finished for the year. That's all right. What do we got? We got some grape leaves. Let's do this one. And I'll just rinse them and add them in. Add this to the bowl. I don't need to go over there right now, but what you can't see is that all of our cucumbers, bitter melons as well, these cucumbers all have baby cucumbers coming in. So within the next week, we're gonna get a huge flush of cucumbers, Will it be the last one of the year? We'll see. That's not what we're here for. We're gonna go get some leaves. Man, I am cooking out here. Well, you can see pretty much how everything's coming in. We got 2 potato beds. We got a harvest. What else is going on? Well, that's really the main goal. I want to show you something kind of interesting here. Oh, why don't you look at that? Now, I thought that was a cucumber plant, but to me it looks like a little watermelon, so I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to double check what I planted. Well, I'm not really sure what's going on with that one. But we've been getting a lot of molly ground cherries. This is just the latest harvest for the last 3 days. Now, our greens bed needs some water, but otherwise everything's coming in really well. You can see here now there's a whole bunch of stuff coming in. We got little baby collards finally getting bigger, Swiss chard, shiso, and so on. I moved my lavage over here too. We still have some bugginess going on, but that's all right. Let me go pick some. Okay, we got a little bit of kale and collards here. It doesn't look like much until I bring it inside, and that's gonna be a lot of food. There's all the Swiss chard. Now this is all cleaned up. So, when it's not the middle of the day, which honestly it'd probably be better to do this in the evening or morning ideally, I'm gonna come back and give everything water. Well, I forgot I gave some shiso away, so I just have a little bit. I'll just use in some cooking rather than rolling them up. I'm gonna bring all this inside. All in all, not the worst bounty today. In the front, we have some honey nut squashes coming in, as well as a few more of the black futsu squashes. So we are monitoring that progression. But the downside is that on top of forgetting to start all the tomatoes that we were supposed to, it's just been a rough tomato year. So we still have green tomatoes holding onto the plants. Usually we're getting quite a few in by this point. So not a good tomato year, but seems like everything else is doing pretty good. Greens acquired. I'm actually gonna soak those in some water since they're a little bit wilted, and then we'll come back to them. But I wanna show you this. Over the weekend, we were talking about gardening with some family members while we were traveling. And so today I came back and started nixtamalizing some corn. I just did a tablespoon of pickling lime per cup of dried corn, added some water and boiled it for about 30 minutes. And I'm just stirring this up now, but basically this is gonna sit here and soak until at least tomorrow, maybe tomorrow afternoon. That way the kernels will get really, really soft. Then I'll just rinse them and we will mill them. And I'm either going to dry that so we have just dried masa ready to go for whenever, or maybe make some tortillas. Since we're in between cucumber flushes, and these are ours, I actually bought some cucumbers from a farm near us, but I want to show you our current fermented pickles, which everything in here we grew. Before I pull one of these out, I just want you to see how beautiful this lacto ferment is going. We have one of our grape leaves in there. Basically, I chopped up these cucumbers, soaked them in some ice water. The brine is 1 tablespoon of kosher salt that I grinded, so it's more of a powder. So I dissolved that in a cup of water. This took about 3 cups of water, so 3 tablespoons of that salt in total with 3 cups of water. And put the cucumbers in here with a leaf. Put a little bit of dill in, put my brine over it, and I fermented it on my counter. So for the first 2 days, this water was crystal clear, and then by the morning of the third day, it was like a switch flipped. And you can tell the lactobacillus bacteria was doing its thing. And honestly, it fermented for like 2 more days before it was ready to go in. So you had all the bubbles going and everything. And these are perfectly sour and very crisp. See, now don't let my harvest outside fool you, because that's the largest bowl in the house that all those greens just fit in. So I'm hoping if I can get those sliced up and in a brine, I'll do like a mock sauerkraut. But let me just show you these cucumbers. Look at that. Perfect. Just perfect pickle. Also, this is really hard to do with one hand, but I had to put my camera down so I could close this, but did you hear how crunchy that was? It was good. So once it's done fermenting to basically the taste you want, we just put it in the fridge. And I think it should be good for at least a few weeks. This is gonna be gone by the end of next week though, so we're gonna make 2 more batches of pickles today, and then mock sauerkraut. And yeah, we should be set with some good fermented goodies for a little bit. Of course, you know, we still need to make some wine. Maybe we'll make some beer down the way, but this is pretty good for now. I have this soaking in just ice water. You don't want to do a heavy rinse of anything that you're going to be fermenting, because you do want some of the bacteria on there. However, in this case, I'm actually going to be taking some of the brine from the pickles to inoculate what this is going into, so that'll give it a bit of a kickstart. So I would expect the fermentation should begin at least a day sooner, just because I'm impatient. And it's not really, doesn't really matter. If you don't have that, that's fine. But it should be good to go. So I'm gonna leave this for a little bit and we will come back to it. I cut out a couple shots here, but basically I have this all rinsed and chopped and ready to go. So I'm gonna treat it like a sauerkraut. We're going to go ahead and add our salt to it. I'm gonna add probably like a tablespoon. I don't think we need much more of that fermenting brine that's already in the cucumbers. So I'm gonna get this all scrunched up and wilted, and then we will put it in our jar. There you have it. The entire bowl scrunched down to about 1/4 of a ball jar. I actually put a fermentation weight in there. And so, although we did get a lot of liquid out of it, it wasn't quite enough. So, add a little bit of water to it. It's got plenty of salt. I added in a little bit of an inoculant from the pickles I made the other day. We're just gonna keep an eye on it. Of course, every time you ferment, you wanna keep track. So today's the 31st. Gonna check in about a week. Should be ready in about a week or 2. Again, that's totally dependent on what happens with this and how well it does. So I'll probably post an update either here or on Instagram in a week or 2. I'll let you know what happens. Well, good morning. It's the next day. I wanted to show you the pickles that we also set up. If you can hear over the dishwasher, so we put our grape leaves in, put some spears in there. These are just pickles we got from the farm. And this is actually cleared up overnight. I forgot to put in my grape leaves, so I added it. But the pickles should be done by the end of the week, and then this should be done in about a week or 2. They look very nice.
All right, we got the pickles all set and fermenting inside, so now it's time for us to start picking some potatoes.
Who you got with you?
This is Charlie Dog. He's gonna help us.
I did a little bit of a review at the beginning in case nobody's watched the channel before. So if you're new here, Charlie's also new here. He's been living with us for 1 year and a week.
He's a good boy.
He's a very good boy. He's sturdy.
That he is.
So I honestly, I don't remember what potatoes are where. So we're gonna find out as we get them, but they're pretty easy to harvest.
Well, these ones are red.
Oh, that's Is it the Baltic rose?
Yeah, I think that was the only red variety we grew. So I wrote it down in the book when I planted these.
Okay, well, we'll find out. I know we have Baltic rose. Oh, there's another one. I know we have the Baltic rose. And then, oh, you know what? We did Adirondack red and Adirondack blue this year, right?
I think so.
We'll go check.
Have a little hard time remembering, but I know I wrote it down in the book.
Yeah, but basically because we plant them so shallow and just cover them with straw, it's super easy to harvest. And the straw keeps them from getting the sunlight on them so they don't turn green. So we're gonna go through and see how much we get in this bed, because we've been fighting drought all year. I just went through and watered everything. We'll see how it impacted the potatoes. Right, Charlie? Right. Where did it go? Oh, here it is. Here it is. I keep getting jump scared because these giant freaking worms. It's full of it. Look at that. Let me get close. It's freaking huge. And there's a lot of them.
For you.
Look. There's like a billion of them in here.
Centipede.
Yeah, no. Yeah, those chunky worms. That's a good dog. Look at him. That's a good dog.
Oh, he just burped.
All right, so we went through the whole bed, and this is it. I'm pretty sure that's just the Adirondack Reds, which are never heavy producers. And I was just telling Greg, it's really not the worst thing if we don't have the biggest potato harvest this year, because we still have potatoes from last year. So I'd say, weighing it, I don't know, what do you think, like 5 pounds?
That would be my guess.
Basically got back what we put in. Let's see how the other beds do. Not so sure about this. These are definitely the Baltic roses, but they're so small. Uh-oh. This one started growing. Whoops-a-daisy. These have been sitting probably like they probably should have got them like 2-3 weeks ago. But what are you gonna do? Charlie, you sniffing? He's a good boy. Hi.
Charlie's a dog.
He's not handsome. He's helping. All right. This is all we got. This one we probably only got maybe like 3 or 4 pounds. There's like nothing in there. It's pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Oh, we have 4 beds?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so we should have another bed of Baltic rose.
Yeah.
I think that one's a purple one to my left. We're on the last bed now. The purple one. Here you go. About 2.5 gallons of a 5-gallon bucket. 3 beds of potatoes. Somewhere between 10 and 20 pounds. Maybe I'll put it on the scale when we go inside. Oh, Charles. What are we going to do here, son? I know.
The ones look a little bit better.
They do? What do you have? Yeah.
Yeah, it's still pretty sparse.
At least they're different colors.
They're bigger.
Alright, well, let's take these out, add it to the bucket. I would say we wasted a lot of space on potatoes this year. And then our return is pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's like 2.5 gallons of potatoes.
Probably not much more than we started with, honestly.
What's 18 times 4?
72.
72 square feet of growing space for 2.5 gallons of potatoes. That's pretty rough. This is a rough growing year. Oof. I swear all the organic fertilizer I put down probably made sure we got something. I think if we didn't do that, we would have had nothing. What do you think, Charles?
Well, he liked his potato. He got one of the ones on the ground and he ate it. So.
Yeah.
I think he's happy.
You can see the corn. I just noticed this earlier today. It's so short and it's tasseling. Usually these are at least, God, at least 6 feet tall. So, here it is. I think we grew more worms in these beds than potatoes. But
And sell the worms
that's
to
it.
fishermen.
Yeah, we'll sell them to fishermen.
Well, the potatoes are disappointing, but we got some pickles. We're doing well with cucumbers this year, and this dog is a good boy, so all in all, could be worse.
Could be worse.
Yep.
I started picking some tomatoes too, but they're just all stunted. So got some wins, got some losses. Not always gonna have everything do well, but you do your best. Hey, Charlie. Yeah, he seems pretty content. Yep. Well, there you have it. That's our potato harvest for the year. You know, we've harvested a lot more than that in past years. I've been following a lot of other creators, and I've seen a lot of photos of like this year versus last year, this year versus a couple years ago, and everyone across the board's pretty much struggling with drought and other issues. At least, you know, people along the same kind of like lateral line on Earth to us, not just in the US, but in other countries. And we're doing the best we can. We might not have had the best potato harvest this year, but it makes me happy to see all the worms in the beds. And we have other starchy root vegetables coming in, okay? I think I showed you in the last video, I don't know about before that, but we have an entire huge bed, I think it's like 4x6 or 4x8 or something like that, of sunchokes, and there's just gonna be a ton of them in there. And then the oca is gonna actually start producing tubers once our days get a little bit shorter. So if I can keep the plants alive until about November, we should have a good oca harvest as well. We're gonna see how that goes. I need to actually remember to cover it once our nights start getting a bit cooler, but they're totally fine for right now. We're gonna keep an eye on the tomatoes. I did look at them, and a lot of the flowers got fried from it being so hot. Again, we're in a water ban right now, so we can only really do like a big deep watering once a week. But although the flowers got fried, there's little teeny tiny baby tomatoes on there. So I'm hoping that those are able to mature and hopefully don't fall off. We're gonna see. It has cooled down. We're in the temperatures around like the mid 70s this week, and I'm hoping it holds. It's been cooled down probably for about 3 or 4 days now, and as a result of that, our cucumbers actually are putting out a huge flush right at the moment. So I have a lot of baby cucumbers on there as well, which in the next like week or so should be coming in so we can make some more pickles. So it's going pretty good. I'm honestly just most excited about our greens bed kicking off, and getting enough for the birds, getting enough for us. You know, I'm sure in a few weeks, once I start thinking about it being like October, maybe we should start taking some things out. We'll have enough to put in the freezer, and that's all I can ask for. I'm also thinking of going and grabbing grape leaves and fermenting those too, so we have dolma wraps. But we're hanging in there. If you're struggling, you're not alone. We just do the best you can at this point. If you live maybe a little bit more north of us, maybe a little bit more south of us, I know people are having varying levels of success this year, despite wildfires, despite hurricanes. So it makes me happy to see some people are doing really good. But we'll be here next time. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your summer gardening season, and autumn is on the way. I flipped our calendar. I saw it, it's on the 22nd. It's the first day of autumn, unless 22nd, 23rd, one of those. So it's coming. It's gonna be harvest season soon enough. We'll see you then. Bye.